Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Running, running, no. Keep running.
Before we even get to the chapter, bro, just think about this cover page. Dr. Vegapunk, Caesar, look like Stussy to me, and Queen. Like, bro, they was the scientific revolutionaries, if you ask me, because of the simple image. Like, look how they're trying to fight for science, but people don't want to go that far. Let's say the government. And I feel like they started working with the government to overcome the obstacles that they need to do. Just like Vegapunk said, like he needed funding from the government to continue his scientific mind, right? And we even get a young judge on top of that. Like, do you see his eyebrows? Eyebrows look normal. So where does this world come from? Gotta be Sanji and the rest of the kids' mother. Oda is laying out so much information for us readers, and it's amazing. Like, this is the final saga. This is the final arc. And he giving us so much things. Like, every chapter thus far been bangers. Bangers and bangers. Bro, you gotta give it to Oda, bro. You have to. Like, Oda is making sure that we get everything that we need. Every information that's hitting. All the mysteries of One Piece are going to be answered in this final saga. If you're just like me, you're checking off everything off a list. Like, we have this list. This One Piece fans, ask us One Piece fans, have a list of things we got to check off to understand and know before the end of this series. And one thing is, how is Judge eyebrows, right? Check. Let's get out the list, right? Devil fruits. Everything we know about devil fruits. One part of, like, 1/3 of devil fruits that we need to know is inside this chapter, the current chapter I'm going to reread now. Like, what? Like, bro, get a checklist, right? Check everything off when it comes inside of these chapters. Check it off, because everything that we need going to be answered in these upcoming chapters. But this chapter begins off where we left off at. And Lucci continues to get manhandled in Luffy's awakened form, bro. Like, I don't know why some people overhype Lucci, right? I don't know why. Listen, man, if anybody overhype Lucci, anybody that you know, review One Piece content, bro, stop watching them, bro. Like, seriously, bro. Like, you see how Luffy is manhandling him, right? To the part where Lucci almost forgot who himself really is in this chapter. Even in Lucci's own words, his mind feel like it's slipping from him. And that is the downside of Zoan fruit users, bro. Their primal rage comes in contact with their inner self, to part when it splits the ones into two and make it only one, which is the awakened form, the Zoan fruit, the primary brain, the primary age of its once animal instinct is coming alive, and Lucci will lose itself if he continues in this fight. But I really want to review this chapter in order, so we first have to start off with the Dawn Whip. Yes, Luffy said out his own mind, but it's really a pun for drums, right? Luffy said Dawn Whip. This is the real making of the Dawn, bro. And I love the way Luffy utilizes his moves, bro. Like how he rename them when he comes up with a new technique, a new power, right? And I love that about Luffy. We get new technique names. But let's talk about the Seraphim just for a second now. In this chapter, it seems like nobody can handle them. And the anarchy is somewhat an order for them, correct? Now, I don't think this should go as far as what we think it should be, if you understand what I'm saying. These things are being controlled, but at the same time, do they have human features? Like, just as we seen earlier in this chapter, where the bull Sephiroth act like bull a little bit, and it's already been hinted at a few times that these Sephiroth are only children. Does that mean they can actually grow up? They can actually age as time progresses? The crazy thing about it in my mind is when they reach adulthood, will they actually go against the orders? Will they have their own feelings? That would be the worst case for the government, because their overpowerful weapon they work hard to create is disobedient now, right? Because of the way they grow, because of they see the things around them. Just like children, they grow up and they change their whole mind frame. Now, these could be cyborgs, machines, or androids. They have their own thinking process. Now, if they get older, they have a mind of their own. where they don't want to go along with the order command them. And then we get another verification from Vegapunk that only zone fruits can be artificially made. This makes perfect sense to me is because majority of zone fruits have a primal animal instinct power that dwells inside of them. So evidently you can mimic or copy and paste those animal instincts with the original devil fruit. Like Lucci had the leopard fruit. I'm pretty sure there's a leopard in the world somewhere that Dr. Vegapunk can copy the instincts of it and merge it with somebody that's had the original blood or the green blood and make one leopard devil fruit, just like Marco the Phoenix. I'm pretty sure there was once a phoenix inside One Piece where, you know, Dr. Vegapunk can get the genes and lineage factor, mix it with the green blood, and copy and paste, just like a dragon fruit. I'm pretty sure there's a million dragons that was on Zou, correct? So I'm pretty sure Dr. Vegapunk got the genes of a dragon and combine it with the green fruit to make a whole devil fruit. I mean, it's just all about the animal instincts, the primal age of an animal that Dr. Vegapunk that can copy and paste onto a devil fruit. It's pretty simple. Now, I understand why he can't do it with a Logia, which is an element, and a Paramecia mind of their own. They don't have, basically that's what, true, right? They don't have a mind of their own. Inorganic things in light doesn't have or elements don't have a brain of their own. So you can't copy and paste it, which makes it so hard to develop a Logia or artificial Paramecia devil fruit. Dr. Vegapunk said that he need the bloodline of the current user of the devil fruit mixed with a little green blood, and it'd be a-okay. In my opinion, I think that he need the DNA because I think devil fruits goes back down to the DNA aspect of someone that uses the fruit. Seraphim could actually use the devil fruit because they have absorb of the DNA inside their green blood, which combines together, and that's why they can utilize the devil fruit. But in my opinion, I feel like Dr. Vegapunk did too much glorify the Seraphim, calling them the strongest being of humanity. Now, in my opinion, these things can really turn against anybody any given time once they mature at the same time, just like Terminator, right? Like, these things don't go as according to plan with machines. It never does. You can see it in every movie. It does not go according to plan. This could be a whole Terminator type plot if this go bad. The Sephiroth have a mind of their own as they age, like I said before. But this can go so bad for the government, right? They can build their own army. As long as they be controlled, I'm pretty sure they don't stand a threat to Dr. Vegapunk and the government just yet. But we don't know how often and how rapid they do grow. And that's the downside of things, I think, in my opinion. I'm sure the biggest weakness they have is they don't have a mind for themselves. Like, and I feel like that's the only reason how Blackbeard could get rid of one so easily. Because only thing except for them know is attack, attack, attack. They don't have a consciousness, correct? Where they can actually say, okay, so if they do this, I can do that, right? The only thing they know is attack, attack, attack. And that's how you can get over them so quick. Now, somebody who's not on probably on a Yonko level or first commander yet level cannot compete with these things because they'd be so scared to see all these things that they can do, they can mimic. If you see a Sephiroth mimic a Kizaru beam, I'm pretty sure you're going to think he's Admiral level. Well, you're going to give up pretty fast. But I would say Dr. Vegapunk really didn't touch on the green blood as I thought. Now, I think the green blood is to mimic the whole bloodline of the person's DNA of the Paramecia. And I think that's only why it's used for, because you can't drain somebody of they completely drain them of their DNA. You actually kill them. If you completely drain somebody of their blood, of course you actually kill them. So he mimicked this green blood, you know, to give off, I would say, the feeling of it should be the real blood where the person can utilize it in devil fruit. Like, say, like Senior Pink, right? Senior Pink blood is in this Jinbei's body. But the green blood makes up for the lack of blood that this Jinbei Seraphim have, which will be the copy. If they, I would say, coexist with each other, the DNA of Senior Pink and Jinbei will seem like it's already inside Senior Pink's body, just like it never changed. Nothing has changed. But in my opinion, the green blood is there to coexist with the original blood, with the original bloodline, and make it seem like I'm still in Senior Pink's body. And that's what devil fruit is saying. So that's why I think Jinbei can utilize the swim fruit, is because of Senior Pink's blood with the green blood, and it mimics and it coexists with Senior Pink's blood, and it still will be able to use devil fruit, if you get it. Hope I didn't make it too difficult. But as we continue with the chapter, we see that Luffy is still merely rocking Lucci, bro. Like, listen, I'm gonna stop saying it. Right? Because at the same time, I know that your favorite YouTuber hyped this fight up, and look how Luffy is dog walking Lucci, bro. Like, Luffy ate up the ground and started spitting it back at him, right? Panel after panel, listen, man, Luffy is dog beating him. All right, even to the next panel, things are not looking good for Lucci. And the best part of this chapter is when Luffy put on his goggles to get perfect aim to bounce back in the pipe where he bended with his rebel properties and shot the rocket right at Lucci's stomach. And even Lucci cannot keep up his wicked form too long because his mind is slipping from reality. And that's the bad side of the zones. Like I said before, he cannot keep up with Luffy in this form. I'm pretty sure he probably just awakened his devil fruit at the same time. Well, Luffy did too, but he's not losing his mind, right? Luffy's fruit is also a Zoan, but Luffy ain't losing his mind like that. Not like Lucci. Lucci is going all out to fight Luffy, and that's bad on his side. And like I previously said, when Jinbei said thank you to the boa, the Sarah from Boa, she had a mind of her own the way she reacted. Probably just like how Boa would react. Like I said, man, the baddest thing that can happen as these Sephiroth get older and how rapid they do grow, they might have a mind on their own when they want to obey orders. Now, if these Sephiroth can, like, this Seraphim can adapt to their environment, I'm pretty sure they can have a mind of their own as they reach adulthood. Early as 15 years old, when they start being rebels and they started develop their own pirate crew. I'm just saying. And the crazy thing about this, as they got into the Valkyrian rocket, bro, we seen what Luffy turns to because of what he used in the Awakened form. Just like how Gear 3rd, when he used Gear 3rd, remember in Lobby, how he turned to a kid, he overcame that. I'm pretty sure he will also overcome this form after he used in the Awakened form, because he's like an old, little, crusted little guy. I thought Bonnie did it at first, but no, she was asleep. But they said we'll explain after, you know, once they land. So I'm pretty sure that this is the outcome of him using his Awakened form. But as we fast forward to the destination where the rocket capsule was supposed to go, we seen that Bonnie is still on edge of what Dr. Vegapunk did to Kuma. Now, I don't know what actually Dr. Vegapunk have for Bonnie, but I feel like it's something where Kuma can turn back to the person he really was. Now, I think that Kuma will always be a cyborg, but just like how Frankie survived as being a cyborg, I'm pretty sure Kuma could do the same thing. Now, I think that Kuma will actually be back to where Self was. Now, Kuma definitely is going to come there and try to protect Bonnie. So we're going to see firsthand what actually Dr. Vegapunk has for Bonnie to give to Kuma. Or Dr. Vegapunk could give it to Kuma right then and there as he come there. Because I'm pretty sure he disappeared and he's like probably like 2 chapters away. But we're going to see Kuma and Bonnie react to each other. We fast forward to where Lucci and Stussy and Kaku has full control of the Seraphim. And they want to push the issue. Nobody should escape. But at the same time, right, we have Kizaru trying to get every battleship to Egghead. Now, if you understand this, let's understand 2 things right now. If Lucci pushed the issue, Straw Hat Company will leave quicker, right? Now, if Lucci just stands still for a second, we'll get the chance to see Kizaru faces off with one of the Straw Hats. Now, mind you, let's go in more detail with if Kizaru actually shows up on Egghead. Do you remember the lightweight pressure gloves, right? The gloves that actually can hit or bend actual light. Listen, we all know Oda introduced things for a reason sometimes. And sometimes they just things for Oda can keep in mind. But Kizaru is on his way to Egghead, right? And we had the light pressure gloves that can actually hit light. Where Kizaru has the glint fruit, the light fruit you want to say. And who are these gloves for? We already know Luffy is profound in Ryu Haki, where to the point where he don't even have to touch Kaido to hit him with armament Haki, right? Luffy really don't need these gloves unless Luffy needs more training in the armament Haki department to hit Kizaru. Or it could be that maybe somebody as in Sanji, you know, because you know Sanji and Kizaru both utilizing kicking moves, right? And it's already been teased that Sanji is going to have to face Kizaru. And I'm pretty sure that Kizaru still needs to have a nice foe with one of the Straw Hats. And there's nobody better than Sanji. So I'm thinking that maybe Sanji, who's not profound like Luffy and Armament Haki, will have to face Kizaru and utilize these light pressure gloves that can actually hit Kizaru. Listen, it makes perfect sense because of Sanji is the person that don't use fists. And I'm pretty sure that these light pressure gloves can be transformed to boots instead. Listen, there's nothing going past Dr. Vegapunk. This man thinks ahead of time. I'm pretty sure he can transfer these gloves into boots, shoes that will help Sanji out facing off with Kizaru. In my opinion, Sanji mid-diff queen. Like, he needs an opponent after he awakens his exoskeleton. So Kizaru will be there, hopefully, to face off with Sanji, because it would be a good match with Luffy also, right? But we already seen Luffy face off with the likes of Kaido, right? So, and I'm pretty sure Luffy does not need these light pressure gloves to face off with Kizaru. And the only reason why I say that it might be Sanji, because if you having a full-blown, a few battleships, more than ones they can spare to go to Egghead, Luffy might be preoccupied. So somebody have to hold off Kizaru for the meantime. That somebody that can skywalk to the ship and don't have to swim to the ship, right? And I would think that's Sanji. Sanji would be the perfect opponent for Kizaru to face off with. And if Sanji on Haki is not up to par, I'm pretty sure he can use these light pressure gloves to fight off against Kizaru. It would be the perfect match, man. The perfect match for us fans that need it. He already kind of diffed out with Sanji's bounty. All right, mean 1,032,000,000. Okay, but at the same time, Sanji needs this. Us as One Piece fans need this fight because Sanji has to perform well, right? He kind of, like I said last time, Queen and him, the match was like kind of one-sided in my opinion. If you don't think so, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about the Queen and Sanji fight. But in my opinion, Sanji didn't really show off what he really can do. And with an Admiral, bro, we have to see what Sanji can do. And I think that Sanji wouldn't get the big head because he still needs to train in the Haki department. Kinibushi Haki, I know, is very great with Sanji, but armament Haki, that's something I'm pretty sure that he lacks. And I'm pretty sure Zoro is way profound more than Sanji in the armament department, right? So this would give Sanji an open eye, like maybe I also need to utilize the armament Haki just like my captain, because people like this Kizaru people, you know, they're coming from now on now, just how Luffy awakened his devil fruit, right? Because the likes of Yonkos he would face it in his final saga, Sanji had to do the same thing. Zoro, we can say, is a little bit ahead of Sanji. So Sanji had to understand that for my captain, I had to learn new things, and this would be the perfect example for Sanji to come forth with that. In my opinion, like I said, Oda introduced these light pressure gloves that can bend light, hit light, right, for a reason. And I'm pretty sure Luffy don't need these gloves. So Sanji, hopefully, is going to utilize these gloves. I would say Sanji over Frankie, right? But Sanji will be the perfect example. Like I said, this chapter was pretty good. I like this chapter. Like I said, Oda is showing us banger after banger. I'm going to give the chapter a 10 out of 10 because of the simple fact, bro. We learn more about artificial fruits, more about zone fruits, more about the seraphim in the chapter, which was good, which was really good. Like I said before, it might be a Terminator scenario with the seraphim as they get older. At the same time, bro, they are powerful. They are really powerful. But that is it for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel to get more of me and more One Piece content, because I'm gonna give you One Piece every single week. I might be late, but I'm still gonna give you that One Piece content. I'm soon to do My Hero Academia, and I gotta catch up the Bleach, so soon I will be doing that also, man. Like I said before, this is the Monkey D Cypher channel. Thanks for watching. Peace. I'll see you on the next one.